Hello everyone, this is Ronan Blue here in Hua Hin, Bangkok. This is our second day here. I'm sorry to have to speak on the sides of the roads here. Reason being is because this is where the sidewalks are. But I hope you're doing well. So I just wanted to talk about some of the first thoughts of Hua Hin. You know, coming from Bangkok, the capital city of Thailand, Hua Hin is a very small town. There's only like 80,000 people here. So immediately what I notice is, well, it's on the countryside, and it's a bit chillier, I find. You know, which is strange because it's down south, but maybe it's just because of today's weather. But we have the gray skies. I haven't seen a gray sky for a whole week now, but hopefully it doesn't rain. But it feels a lot cooler here in Hua Hin. It's probably because of the breeze of the ocean there. What I also noticed is there's a lot of tourists here as well, or maybe expats. Maybe there's a small expat community, but they definitely look like they're living here, some of them, and some of them are tourists. I'm beginning to really see what the difference is between the two. So yeah. I just got waved right now by a bunch of Thai people. Well, I do kind of miss the convenience of the MRT and BTS as we were traveling through Bangkok there. It's really easy to hop on and hop off. We had some trouble there in the beginning. We had to get used to the MRT. We got lost a couple times, but we pretty much became experts at riding the train system. It's very, very convenient. But Hua Hin, it looks as though we might have to be walking a lot more. But another thing I noticed about Hua Hin is that it's relatively flat, and I can see all the way down there. It's completely flat. I mean, well, so is Bangkok, I guess, but the thing is, Bangkok had the tall skyscrapers and the buildings and all the traffic. It's just, but for some reason, it's the perspective here is, you know, you can see in the far distance, and you don't know where the town actually ends. But another thing is, I noticed that people seem a lot more laid back here, and more friendly, I guess. I wouldn't say friendly, like people in Bangkok were pretty friendly as well, but they had that city mentality. But here in Hua Hin, you can kind of tell with their smiles, right? Bangkok, I mean, there was a few smiles here and there, but I find here in Hua Hin, like back there, people were smiling at me while I was just walking by. But another thing about Hua Hin is that they have these little markets. There's a lot more space here, so I'm guessing that a lot of people gather in these small areas and you know, and have that gathering within their communities. So that's another thing I noticed. We're probably gonna go to a night market later on and check out what kind of foods and things we can see as well. I mean, to get around Hua Hin, it's probably best to have a scooter, but we were talking about maybe getting a scooter, but it's kind of dangerous, you know. Just the stories I hear about scooters and how in Thailand has the highest death toll when it comes to road deaths, specifically around scooters. So it made us think twice really of getting a scooter. But I did get myself an international driver's license, so maybe it might be good to rent a car or something, do a little bit of driving. So I think the driving should be manageable here, although it's on the left-hand side. But it seems a lot safer and easier to drive around here than Bangkok, for sure. The Bangkok traffic is absolutely horrific. So Hua Hin so far from first glance doesn't really seem so busy, but maybe I'm not in the central area. So I just walked by a bunch of people right now, and they gave me this huge, humongous smile, and it's nice. You don't really see that back home, you know, in North America, where everybody is pretty busy with their lives and don't really have, you know, that moment to greet each other, because you know, everyone's lives are really busy. I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, I used to be one of them, but ever since hitting financial independence, I have time to smile at people. I think some of the shops are opened up by foreign establishments, like from Japan and from Korea and United States, and a lot of the restaurant owners here are actually foreigners too. So you have some Western collection of foods as well as Thai food. So it's a little bit pricey though. You're looking at prices that are probably equal to or a little bit more than back home. There's a Thailand cowboy on the streets. Kind of does feel like the Wild Wild West here at times, but it's a beautiful horse. Looks like they have some free exercise stations on the roadside. Kind of like when we went to Lamtini Park, where the whole park there had these types of machines you can use for free. So it's awesome. You don't need a gym. And another thing you notice about Hua Hin is there's a mixture of the old and the new. Like check that temple out right behind me. That looks absolutely beautiful. But then across from it, there's a 7-Eleven. So it's kind of an interesting contrast. You probably won't see anything like that in North America, where most of our streets back home are concrete blocks. So you can check this place out. Looks pretty awesome. That's what I like about the Thailand temples. They're always so vibrant with their colors. This one looks like it's coated in gold. But of course they're primarily Buddhist. So it's very beautiful. I never grow tired of seeing these temples, especially when you're not really expecting them to come out. So where in your neighborhood would you be able to see such structures as these when you're just walking down a regular street? Wow, there's another great thing about Hua Hin is there's not a lot of people around, so I can talk as loud as I want and feel absolutely not uncomfortable at all. All this private space for you to explore. I kind of feel like I'm in this world by myself. So whereas in Bangkok you're kind of shoulder to shoulder, but I like the excitement of Bangkok too. But Hua Hin is very much relaxed. But one thing I do notice are there's some dogs walking around unleashed. They're wild dogs, and well, there's cats too, so you kind of have to watch out. You don't know what those dogs are thinking, but some of them look pretty aggressive. Most of them are kind of sweet. Looks like the beach is nearby as well, the Hua Hin beach. You can also find a whole bunch of different kinds of accommodations here in Hua Hin that are pleasing to the Western standard. So as you saw our Airbnb, it looks pretty damn nice. So a lot of the condos are being developed quite new around this area. So it is developing and welcoming foreigners into the area. So this is I see these trucks everywhere. People just hop in from the back here, and they don't have a lot of buses here, I find. Or we saw that the buses do run, but it's only like 3 or 4 times a day. But these things are pretty popular. They're called Sun Tao or something like that. Pronunciation isn't quite right, but there's a whole bunch of them right here. There's also a lot of green as well. Kind of has a Hawaii feel to it. been to Hawaii a couple times, but it kind of has that feel. Really nice. Even walking next to the traffic doesn't really bother me too much. I still feel pretty relaxed. There's also the hills in the distance there too. National parks where you can go hiking and other things as well. So Hua Hin, there's a lot of things to do, you know. You can experience both worlds, in nature as well as in the modern amenities we have available to make our lives so convenient. So look at that truck with all the stuff on top of it. That would never happen back home with certain regulations in place, but wow, that's pretty crazy. But another thing I noticed is the air is so fresh here, and a lot more than Bangkok. But the thing is, there isn't a lot of traffic lights. We have no idea how to cross this road, but we'll eventually find a place where you can cross over, I guess. But there's a medium there blocking us from going over. And another thing is the street signs are easy to see as well. It has this traditional pinkish frame around it. Each of the streets, this one for example is Hua Hin 85, so dental clinic right across the street as well. We did a bit of research on that, and it's not that expensive to get a teeth cleaning. It's like 40 bucks US, or depending on your condition as well, but it's not that expensive especially when you compare it to back home. So that's why they have medical tourism here, or dental tourism, so it's a lot cheaper and affordable here. Well, there's no crosswalks here, so we're just gonna jaywalk and get across to the other side of that way. It seems a lot of people do that, so might as well join the crowd. Alright, we're at the Hua Hin Dental Clinic. We're just gonna come check it out and see what it's like.
When will be available? How long will you stay here? 3 weeks, so we have but what's the price for the 1,000 to 1,500? Or just the cleaning? Or
Just cleaning.
Just the cleaning? About 1 hour?
Cleaning for one person, half an hour.
Half an hour?
Half an hour cleaning. So Thursday at 9:30?
Yes.
Okay.
For two
people. Okay.
May I have your name, please?
See, we just walked down the street, and we did a little bit of a review, and we found a dental clinic, and we made an appointment for 2 cleanings for next Thursday, which is awesome, and it's really cheap. And like I said, it was actually less than $40. It was like $35 per person, so it's not bad at all. We're just gonna get our teeth. They have these pharmacies around town as well, so not sure if it's 24 hours, but some of the places I bet they are 24 hours. So you might probably be able to get basic stuff, but if you do have any kind of medical conditions from back home, it's better to stock up before you come here. You can also walk around looking for rent signs as well. It's actually recommended that you find yourself an Airbnb and stay there for a couple of days. And during that time, you look for rent signs like this, and you could probably find a rental property that's half the cost of what an Airbnb charges. Case by case, of course. You can check out Facebook as well, Facebook groups. And so far, we feel really super safe here. I mean, we felt pretty safe in Bangkok as well, but here we feel pretty safe. Bangkok is interesting because there's security guards at every train station, but here you don't see as much security, but I feel pretty comfortable. We feel pretty comfortable. I mean, it's the countryside, right? There's 80,000 people here. We don't really like hanging out at night, so maybe the daytime makes it feel like it's safe. I have no idea what goes on during the night. Found this really nice park as well, so if you're into sports and stuff, you can come and play some soccer or some other types of sports here. Plenty of green. Look how green that lawn is. They maintain it really well. But so far, my first thoughts would be that it might be a very convenient place for one to retire. As you saw, there's a lot of conveniences around. I mean, I'm getting a teeth cleaning next week, so it's pretty awesome. And this is just the first day we're here too, and it's a lot of possibilities here for sure.